Hey guys, so the video today is going to contain the inside of the caravan, so you'll be able to see the walkthrough of the inside of the caravan today. And also we got a caravan, surprise. So we sold our camper trailer, that one's all gone, and we've got the caravan. And then we've also got accommodation now, so we're staying in a house at the moment around Esperance area for work. Which you'll also be able to see a walkthrough of the inside of the house as well, and then you'll be able to also see us doing a little bit of gardening. And we'll also put in all the other bits like the birthdays that we've had, Easter, just little bits like that, what we've been up to, because it's been a little while since we posted, but we've just been so busy with everything, with working and moving and selling stuff and buying stuff, and yeah, we've had a lot going on. So but yeah, you'll be able to see all of that in the videos. And yeah, say goodbye to the camper. All right, see you guys. See, we bought a caravan. Hey guys, so to begin our tour, this is our new caravan, Treelander.
Show you, take us inside, and we'll show you how all the electrics inside of things work. It's pretty basic given the year of the van, but yeah, we'll show you what we've got to work with at the moment. A little bit bigger than what we bargained for. We're sort of looking at about a 22, 23 footer. We ended up with a 25.5 footer, so it's a big one. It's old. It's a 2001 Jayco Westport, so full separate ensuite. And yeah, so we'll take you in and we'll show you around. Actually, first, if you can get Alicia to scan under there, you'll have a look. It's got water tanks, one at the front and one at the back. So the previous owners have also flipped the axles underneath the springs. So it gives it a little bit more ground clearance. It is a dedicated on-road van, but see what happens in the future. We may convert it, may not. So we'll give you a little walk around. There's it's just got basic amenities for an old school van. It's got stove, sink, freezer, fridge, microwave, cupboards, range hood, little hatch for your fruit and veg with a basket in there, and battery for the breakaways. I haven't really looked in too much of these myself, honestly. There's a water heater down the bottom there, in the bottom corner. That's about it for there. Original stereo from when it was first built. Don't know if it works yet. Well, I mean, it gets power to it, but we haven't really sussed out too much with it yet. Aircon, heating, both work. Whole caravan's been, what do you call it? Renovated from inside. So they did a full strip down on it about 6 months ago, and yeah, showing that way, you can see it's all very neat and tidy. It's because they only finished painting it a couple of weeks ago. So it's been all reupholstered, new mattresses, new cushions. Some of the locks are a little bit sticky, so they're all just the generic latches and cupboards. We've got one 12-volt socket, and that's it. So it needs a little bit of love on the electrical side of things. We've got 4 cupboards, wardrobes, drawers, bedside tables. We got under storage. It came with a full annex, so there's storage under the bed. Full annex for the awning, which you've probably seen a slight outside view earlier on. We've got this wardrobe here, which if you've got guests staying, you look through, there's actually a cupboard on the other side. So if one of us is having a shower, we've got one of the sticky locks. Got it. So if you have a look in here, there's rear access to the wardrobe. So if you've got guests or whatever in the van, Alicia or myself can actually get changed in privacy. Even though we've got the concertina blinds here and a new blind that the folks before us have whipped up. There's a section over here for washing machine. We haven't got around to it yet. It's got a little bit of mould in the bottom of it, which has just dried up. It's all been sealed previously, so there's no dramas there. Yeah, just got fans and yeah, more cupboard space. Lots of cupboards in here. Yes, it's a big van, but it only weighs 2.1 tonne empty. It's full aluminium frame, fully insulated, top, bottom, sides, front and back. Its loaded weight, I'm pretty sure, is 2.6 tonne. I'll have to double check. Electric brakes, front, rear axles, breakaways. So yeah, it's pretty much a quick, brief walkthrough. One thing I didn't show you. We got drawers under the cab, under the couches as well, and everything electrical wise in this thing is original. Fuse box, still from 2001. So yeah, it needs a bit of an update because we've got 2 300 amp hour lithium batteries to go in it today, I think. Tomorrow. Anyway, so we're gonna have to update pretty much the whole electrical side of things. And if I open this, hang on, pull that out, Alicia scans the camera in there, you'll see why. It's old school, but it definitely needs some love. It all works. 12 volt works off the car, so all lights and everything else work. The fridge is a brand new household fridge. which only runs off 240 volt. It's not a compressor fridge like 12 volt and 240. So we're in two minds at the moment whether to convert to a compatible 12 volt and a 240 fridge, or whether to keep that and go a 3000 watt inverter, because the freezer is the same, only runs off 12 volt, 240 volt, as well as the aircon and the microwave. It's no big deal, but we can make that happen. We've done some calculations and whatnot. We've worked out between the fridge and the freezer they draw about 11 amps. So that's given we'll have 600 amp hours of lithium and a 3000 watt inverter, we should be able to run that quite comfortably around the clock. After that, we're going to look into putting solar panels on the roof because we've got nothing at the moment. And then from there, we're probably looking into probably 8 solar panels, hopefully. Beauty about it being such a big van and so light, there's a lot of real estate. So I've got to get up there and sort of figure out what we need, what everything draws once we get the batteries and whatnot. I mean, we can charge it off the car for the interim, but yeah, there's a bit of work that needs to be done to make it complete off-grid living. But it's for what it is, it was a hell of a good buy. It's quite comfy, it's quirky, it's easy to call home, and it can do with what we need it to do for now. Everything works as it should. When it's plugged into mains power, everything, fridge and freezer and microwave and everything all works as it should.
Did you want to mention the lights?
What lights?
The lights that we're going to replace.
Yes. With all the lights, they're the old school halogens. So we've got all the replacements to do every single clearance light plus tail lights to convert it all to LEDs. The only problem with that is because of when the Caravan was built, they only run a power wire to the lights. So there's no earth wire, and they're all earthed straight to the body. Body being aluminium and screwed and riveted together. It's not a secure earth. So I've got to somehow try and figure out a way to get in between the two skins and the walls and run earth wires down to the chassis. Could take us about 3-4 days just because of how much of a pain of a job it's going to be. But that's alright, it's just one of those things. We've got all the replacements to do it. So yeah, it's just another one of the little chores we've got to do to make it work. But I'd also like to convert all the internal and external lights to LEDs as well, given the times we're in now, and it's cheaper to replace the light with an LED than it is to buy a new globe.
Did you want to mention the tyres as well?
Yeah. The only slight downfall we got it because the BT50's lifted and on bigger tyres. Even with the tow bar, so if you have a look at this, have a look at the tow bar. That tow bar literally can't go down any further, and that's the biggest drop hitch Hayman Reese make at the moment that we can get. Admittingly, we're several hours from anywhere that sells tow bars. But so the issue we've got, even though the axles have been flipped on to the underside of the springs to get more clearance and whatnot, it still sits front end high, even without the weight distribution hitch pulling them up. So obviously we still have that on to stop the porpoising going down the road. Aside from that, it tows absolutely beautifully.
Did you want to have a look at the front of the...
So it's got the distribution latches there. So we got these here. So as a lot of you know how they work, but if they don't, I'll throw in a quick demonstration. As I was just saying, I'll give you a rundown on these weight distribution hitches. The idea of these, that hooks into the tow bar like so. That attaches to your drawbar. So naturally it'll sit like that. As you pull that up, it's wanting to pull the back of the car up and put the weight on the front of the wheels. So that'll stop your whole porpoising. So, put these in, they literally hook in there, like so. So that's all tight. Grab your chain. These does need to be adjusted a little bit, so we're still fine tuning things. and you count up 5 links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can get more than 5 links and it sits right, that's fine. Any less, then you've got to do some serious adjustments, because otherwise it just won't work out should. So that hooks on to there like so. Now, grab a bar, it's into here, and pull. You can see that's lifting the hitch. It does need a bit of fine tuning, but it does help a lot. And put the pin in there, or bolt, or whatever you got, and that's that. And you come around the other side, and the exact same on the opposite side. Bottom in first, slide the top in, pull your pin out, put it down like so, count up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you got a little hook under there, same as the other side. Grab your bar, and that lifts it up further again. So now there is roughly, give or take, about an extra 160 odd kilos of weight put on the front wheels. Still got, you know, quite a bit of weight on your back, but there is now more on the front, which that'll give you more steering, and it now levels up the van. So if you actually have a look back, step back for a sec. So now if you look at the car and the van, the car sits predominantly level. Still sits a little bit high in the front end, but not by much. There's only about 5mm difference between them. And if you look at the van sits pretty well dead level now. A little bit high in the front, but as I was saying earlier, we've got to adjust tyre sizes to suit this car. But for what it is, it's pretty damn close. We're just being really picky on the geometrics of everything. So yeah, that's weight distribution hitch in a nutshell, and they will save your life. If you're towing things heavy, get them. I didn't know much about them until about 6 months ago, and that's chalk and cheese. Honestly, if you haven't got one, you're towing anything over 2 ton, get one. The only other thing we've had to change is the vinyl that was on the front, which is the same as this stuff, was around here. It's the original vinyl from when it was built, and it started off with a hole about yay big when we left Perth and picked up the van. By the time we got back down to Esperance, after we'd gone and seen Sean at EZIWORX, when we got to Nungarran to see Sean, the entire vinyl thing had pretty well fallen off and was flapping in the wind. So we ended up having to go at that with a Stanley knife to get rid of it, and that'll be getting replaced with some checker plate eventually. We got a few other slightly more important jobs to do first, e.g. lights. But anyway, so back to the leveling system. So the car sits level with the sway bars connected. The problem is it still sits high in the front end. So when these tyres have pretty well worn out, we've got to swap them out to a slightly bigger profile tyre. We've got to gain roughly an inch on the sidewalls. So that'll bring the whole van up another inch. And we're going to convert to 6 stud steelies as well. So that'll be a case of replace the hubs, and we'll get all that on video for you as well. Show you the process and the inner workings of the electric brakes. So yeah, hopefully bringing up by that another inch, that'll then level out the van as well. So that'll stop it from sitting, so the car will sit like that. At the moment, the van's sitting like that, even with everything lowered as far as it can go. So we've got to try and kick the back end up, and working out should be about an inch on the sidewalls, and that'll bring it up perfectly fine. So yeah, quick shout out to Sean Stobie from EZIWORX Auto Electrics in Nungarran. He's jumped on board with us to help us out with our 12-volt fit out that we're doing in the van. So yeah, follow along for the progress on that. He's based out on Nungarran, which is 20 minutes north of Merredin in the wheat belt. He's a top bloke, does really good quality work. So if you ever need anything when you're in the wheat belt of WA, give him a call. We'll drop a link in the description below, and yeah, follow on. Cheers guys, hope you enjoyed it. Catch you later.